All right, and we are live with another Wrestling Freaks podcast, WWE Raw and Tough Enough review. I'm your host Tony with my co-hosts, as always, Bizarre One Dave. How you doing tonight, Dave?
All right.
And my other co-host Justin. How you doing tonight, sir?
Very good.
All right, let's jump right into tonight's video. We'll touch on Raw and we'll do a little touching up on Tough Enough. Tough Enough tonight, not really too much to gripe about, but I'm sure we'll have our little nitpicks about it. But anyways, Raw started off pretty good with a Seth Rollins promo, pretty much bragging about breaking John Cena's nose last week on Monday Night Raw. Um, Excuse me. He also said that he will do the first ever world title open challenge, where basically the same thing goes for the U.S. title, but he had a few rules where you had to be less than 6 feet tall and you had to be less than 200 pounds. So basically, he was challenging El Torito. Which they played his music, and I'm like, oh my lord, I really hope it's not El Torito. But they cut it off pretty quickly, and Neville ended up being the challenger, who I didn't know he was under 6 feet tall. I thought he was at least 6 feet, 6'1" at least. But he met the requirement, and he faced Seth Rollins for the championship title. It was a pretty good match. Two really good false finishes where you thought Seth Rollins actually lost the match. One on a roll up, and then two off the Red Arrow finisher. Neville kind of pinned him, put his legs up too high, and Rollins was able to get his feet on the ropes. So that was pretty good, two false finishes that I haven't seen before, or at least not that one. Rollins ends up getting the win, and after he pedigrees Neville, and a pretty good match, I must say. We'll start with Dave first. What did you think of the match and the outcome?
I think it was a great match. I mean, probably the best match on the card. I mean, this match, they had a great match before. I believe a few months ago they had a match, and Neville, you even thought, Neville was going to win for a minute. But because you were thinking, I think guys was no more than a lot of younger fans, but you were almost thinking Triple H Jericho with that whole situation, like when Jericho beat Triple H for the title, but then Triple H had it null and void, it never happened. So that kind of similarities to that right there. But the match was great. I enjoyed it. Probably the best match on the show. The Divas produced, but I'm just saying this match right here is probably the best match on the show. And when's the last time we got a world title match or WWE World Heavyweight title match on Raw? Probably Cena and Punk was the last one, probably.
It's been a while, that's for sure. I can't even remember. It's been that while. So, yeah, it was. I agree with you 100% on that. Justin?
Oh, well, I want to start off by talking about the promo that Rollins did. You know, him taking credit for breaking John Cena's nose, and him saying that the only person that can beat Seth Rollins is Seth Rollins. And then, like you said, he went on to challenge. He did the open challenge for the championship. And I thought it was funny. You know, the fans were actually thanking Rollins. You know, they had the chant, "Thank you, Rollins."
That's right.
Yeah, they kept chanting that. I laughed at that. And the match itself, anything with Neville, I like. I'm pretty high on Neville. And I was watching the match, and at the last false finish of the Red Arrow into the 3 count, I was looking at the TV, and I looked away, and I heard the 3. I was like, no way, he didn't just beat him live on Raw. And I happened to look up, and Rollins' foot was on the ropes. I was like, holy crap. You know, I wasn't paying attention, and I heard 3 count, and I looked. So I was like, no way. But, yeah, no, it was a great match. Like Dave said, probably the best on the card. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if Cena's going to be on Raw next week. He's going to be on Tough Enough. I think that's going to be a big ratings ploy, of course, to get the ratings a little bit higher. But
And Yeah, and he can also talk about his injury too. Like, look, I broke my nose and still continued wrestling. Will any of you guys still do it? You know, I mean, it can be something like that.
Right. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting Raw next week. Not sure if Lesnar will be on it. They haven't really announced anything on that, but we'll continue on with the Raw review itself. What was the next match, Justin?
It was the 8-man tag, the Lucha Dragons, Matadors, New Day, and the Ascension.
Okay, is there really anything to discuss on this match itself?
It was okay for what it was, I would say. I mean, then I had primetime players on commentary again, but it was all right for what it was.
Yeah, New Day do get the pinfall, so I'm not really sure what they're doing. To me, it looked like it's going to be some kind of big tag team match at SummerSlam where all the tag teams are involved, because they kept mentioning on commentary that they don't even know who they're going to face.
Maybe like tag team turmoil or something.
Right. Some kind of like fatal, I don't know, fatal 4-way or.
It'll be like 5 teams.
Yeah, so it's.
Like, there was the Ascension and New Day versus Dragons. Yeah, so it'd be like a 5-team, maybe a gauntlet or something.
Right. So I mean, they're like they're saying they won this summer. Oh, we forgot to mention one key thing with the Rollins thing, that he challenged John Cena for
title.
Title versus title.
That kind of scares me.
I'm not really sure what the hell is gonna go on with that. I don't.
Oh, man, that's tough.
I'm scared a little bit.
Yeah, and this is pretty odd that this was the Intercontinental title, you know?
Right.
Like, if that's the WWE, it's not just the US title, the Intercontinental title too is the WWE's title. That's still considered a WCW title, if you want to say that.
Yeah,
so,
no way,
I mean, that's kind of odd, that whole situation. But it's really cool to see that we can see either John Cena as the world in US or Seth Rollins as the US champion and the world champion. So one of those titles will get forfeited, obviously. Yeah, so that would be the best way to get the US title off John Cena.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah. So tag team match, like we said, was all right. It's probably building up to a big tag team match at SummerSlam itself. New Day was also, they were great. Primetime players were all right on commentary. And, yeah, that's about it. Next match, Justin.
Bellas versus Becky Lynch and Charlotte.
This match was actually really good.
Yes, it was.
Enjoyed this match. It went good, I think 15 minutes. It seems like the Divas are getting it looks like the Divas are getting the second match usually in the first hour, and they give them some time, at least 15 minutes in the most. Charlotte ends up putting Nikki Bella in the submission hold.
Tapped her out.
And making Nikki tap out. The NXT Divas have still not taken a loss. Unless I'm not sure. Did they lose on main event? I didn't check it out.
That I did not see.
Becky Lynch won that match. It was a good match, too.
So NXT, the women have not lost a match yet currently. They are still undefeated.
They're looking really strong. I mean,
yeah, they really are.
The second coming of wrestling, and they're just taking over. And that's what they're kind of trying to, I think, more like the NXT Women's Revolution than the Divas Revolution, because they're the ones dominating. And all of a sudden, these NXT girls come up, and they're getting more time in the ring. So, obviously, it's more a Triple H thing than anything, because Triple H didn't want to give these women 15 to 20 minutes down in NXT.
Right, so what did you think of the match, Justin?
Oh, it was good. I mean, Nikki Bella did good again. She had some pretty strong moves during the match. Becky Lynch did great as well. Charlotte did extremely good. I thought it was cool that they had Nikki Bella tap out to Charlotte in the figure 8. I enjoyed that. So, I mean, it's only going to get better. From the way it's going, it's only going to get better. So, I can't wait to see what happens with it.
Dave?
Yeah, the match is really good. I mean, we're getting 2 Divas match on Raw each week. And, I mean, usually the first match, I think, is always better than the second match. But it just depends, I guess. I thought this match was really good. I enjoyed it. I mean, Becky Lynch, they both won. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. Like you said before, I mean, she got to win over the champion. Maybe a member of Sasha Banks is the one who beats her, say, next week or even on SmackDown, you know? And then it gets, okay, well, we should get a title shot. You know, something like that. Or SummerSlam is going to be something big with that title. You know, it has to be. So they're going to do some kind of big match with it. Whether it's like all the women in the ring, some type of battle royal or whatever. It's going to be something.
Right. So Charlotte and Becky Lynch get the win. After the match, Naomi pretty much says that they're the real team bad, kind of cuts down on Ronda Rousey. I'm not sure why she would do that. And then, yeah, they did. Well, with the Piper and stuff like that, the situation with Roddy Piper.
Yeah, they showed a video and they talked about her. And so, I mean, some people are speculating, but we'll see.
Right, and Naomi challenges Paige to a match later on in the night, which she did accept. After that, Justin, what was that? Was that the Miz TV?
Yes, yeah.
The Miz TV segment with Kevin Owens and Cesaro. I thought it went all right. Kevin Owens kind of, I don't know if he was trolling Miz.
Yeah.
You know, kind of, you know, it was funny what Kevin Owens said. Go back and watch that. You know, Cesaro comes out. They kind of get into a little heated debate to where Cesaro pretty much he wants to fight him. And Kevin Owens kind of just leaves the ring, says that he'll wrestle and will fight him at his own time, which will probably be at SummerSlam. They're building up this feud pretty well, in my opinion. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, I love this feud. One thing I gotta say, Miz, like, gave some respect to how he did the whole, this is the second most must-see TV talk show in the WWE with Piper's Pit. I mean, he even did a little homage a little bit with his little things where that he had a ward around his waist, like the kilt, like Piper used to do. And so it was really cool seeing Miz actually bring character and do that. That was really awesome. I mean, the segment was hilarious. This is probably one of my favorite rivalries right now in the WWE. It's not my most favorite, honestly, because I mean, Cena Rollins will probably be really good. And sure, Sheamus going to be good. The Wyatt family versus Roman and Dean. Yeah. I just think Cesaro and Owens is probably going to could even steal the show at SummerSlam. You know, it's going to be Undertaker and Brock, but it's going to be one of those type of matches that they're going to prove they should be in the main event.
Right. Justin?
It definitely, I guess you can say furthered maybe their feud that's going to be happening, I guess. I can't wait to see the match. You got two fantastic workers in Cesaro and Kevin Owens. So, I mean, it would be a great match if it happens.
Yeah, and I don't know who I'd want to win out of the two, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, both of them need a win. I actually do enjoy this feud that they're going. I like how they're not really touching each other, hopefully, till the SummerSlam pay-per-view. More of a Kevin Owens decision of them not touching each other more than Cesaro, because he wants to get at Owens. Even though Owens did attack, I think he attacked Cesaro after a match last week, I believe, right? Powerbombed him. So, right.
Got him. Yeah.
So, feud's good. It reminds me of the classic feuds back in the WWF old days, where they just, pretty much talk and don't really have anything going on yet. But what was next, Justin?
Rusev and Mark Henry, which is pretty much just a squash match, basically.
Which one? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Rusev and Mark Henry.
All right. Not really sure what that was all about.
I was kind of upset about that. Why the hell have Mark Henry? They could have Big Show do that, I guess.
I think it was more or less to get Rusev back on a strong level again. I think they're actually going back to that route, trying to put him on a strong level. Get him a couple good wins. Not really big wins, but good wins. Jack Swagger last week, guys he's faced in the past, but I think they're just trying to make him look strong when he faces. I assume he's gonna face Dolph at SummerSlam.
Right, and just for everybody to know, he's not really hurt. He's Alf filming a film with Kane of all people. So
Evil 3?
no, it's like some numbers movie, 642 or some shit like that. Um, so that's why both of them were written off TV
Yeah.
for that specific reason. So Kane is out filming a film with Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Dave. They're probably getting Rusev back on the strong side to look him like he's unstoppable again. To probably have Dolph Ziggler come in and possibly maybe beat him. I don't know. We'll see about that. What was after that, Justin?
Zack Ryder and Barrett.
Oh
Another
gosh,
cross
what was the point of this?
Yeah, we can skip that.
Yeah, we'll skip that. Next.
Heyman segment.
Oh, the Heyman promo with
Wow.
Excellent. A+.
with Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar pretty much just stood in the ring, threw steps in the ring, and just stood on them the whole time. Paul Heyman giving us a little bit inside information, saying that Taker wanted to face Lesnar at WrestleMania, this past WrestleMania, but Vince McMahon turned him down. I guess for Undertaker's well-being, which was probably the smart idea because Taker didn't even look that good against Bray Wyatt. Well, I mean, he hasn't looked the same in like at least he hasn't looked the same since, in my opinion, Triple H, Hell in a Cell.
Miami, yeah.
Also, Bray, he had a hurt ankle too, so I mean that could have
right, kind of, you know.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I agree with you on that. So it's. I'm not blaming the Undertaker on the match. I'm just saying that it could have been a lot. I was kind of really hyped up for the match, and it didn't live up to my expectations.
It was okay for what it was, basically.
I agree with you on the whole. Last time they had a really good match, Undertaker did. It was Triple H and Undertaker in the Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania. I mean, that was the last really good match he had. Right.
So, I mean, I'm not trying to dog Undertaker. I'm sure he hasn't been in the greatest shape like he is now. But I don't remember everything Heyman said. I'm pretty sure. Did you write anything down, Justin, from the Heyman promo?
Other than when he just called Undertaker a bitch. That's the only thing.
Oh, man. Paul Heyman can sell me fucking anything, man.
Yeah, I mean, anything that comes out of his mouth is magic.
He got me pumped for his today. Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Too big for WrestleMania. I mean, to me, that was awesome when he said that. Right. I was just like, wow, I cannot wait to see this match.
I mean, it's gonna be a really good match, and they gotta make it a no holds bar, man. They gotta make it some kind of no.
That's what their intent when they said all that. That's where they're going. They gotta do something. They can't just have some regular match.
I mean, it's gonna be stiff. It's gonna be heavy hitting. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if it's true what Heyman's saying, which I'm not gonna call him a liar, and I'm gonna believe him, that the Undertaker wanted this match at WrestleMania, and that pretty much Vince said no. I mean, that's interesting to me. That's me saying that Vince knew that Taker couldn't handle it, and that he wasn't in the best shape of his career. And that he pretty much said that Vince McMahon may do the same thing after the match on SummerSlam, and that he may be going to the hospital with Undertaker.
And do we see Suplex City on Undertaker? I mean, there's
No, I doubt it because everyone's thinking, oh, he's gonna suplex the crap out of the Undertaker. If you go back and watch the WrestleMania match, I mean, he didn't really suplex the crap out of the Undertaker then either. They're basically a wrestling match, what they had. First time I ever seen Brock, they came back. Like, as Undertaker actually put on a wrestling match with somebody. They actually had a good wrestling match. One's about 20 suplexes and the match is over.
Well, I'll say this. I do think that he'll get some suplexes on him.
At least 5.
But he will not do no double-digit suplexes.
Yeah,
just for the fact that
Rollins or Cena. Yeah, it's not going to be nothing like
because
that.
They're going to probably be worried that Taker may get another concussion or, it may get hurt again. So maybe, I would say, like Justin said, maybe 5's the limit. He won't get it. There's no way he's going to do 6 suplexes in a row. I don't see it.
Do we see Taker do his dive? I mean, I doubt it. I doubt they'll let him do it, but I mean, that's one of his signature moves. So
I don't know. I mean, if he's in great shape, like he seems to be in, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. Maybe we see some kind of high flying move. Maybe he doesn't jump over
Hey,
the
walk the ropes.
rock the ropes. I'm highly expecting.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, great promo. Heyman sells it like no other can, and this main event is looking more and more and more. I never thought I would be this excited for a match, Taker and Lesnar, and I'm actually really looking forward to this match.
Yeah, it's been built right because it's been over a year since they faced each other.
Right.
Yeah.
It's looking good and good. Justin, what was after that?
Paige and Naomi.
Oh, we're almost getting to the end of Raw. It was flying by, and I think the reason why I don't think this Raw last night was that memorable. I don't think it wasn't a bad Raw,
It was so. It was all right.
but it wasn't the greatest Raw. Do you agree with that, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, it was the first match, probably should have main event of the show.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the best match on the card. If you had Neville and Ronald main event Raw, I would have been like, wow, it's an awesome match. It was a good Raw championship. But to be your first match on the show was kind of like odd. But, I mean, yeah, Raw wasn't great. I mean, there were some good matches, but there were some matches that you guys had lives happening.
I think it what is this? A second? I think it kind of not. I'm not gonna say it lacks because that'd be a wrong word for it. But I look forward to these, and I'm to these Cena Open challenges, and I'm glad we got kind of like a substitute tonight or last
Maybe
night.
we get another one next week. That'll be interesting.
Yeah,
And it brought up another good match. So hopefully they keep doing it.
right. So Paige Naomi, not bad. I think Naomi kind of looks stiff in the ring
Yeah, she did.
to me. Um, Paige is Paige. So she I mean she looked good. Paige gets the win. I figured she'd win since she was going to be on Stone Cold podcast later on in the night. Um, any guys y'all want to touch on anything?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, the match to me, I was kind of disappointed the match got made. I knew Paige needed to win just because he wanted to be on the podcast to win. But I mean, I was like really wanted to see more of the other NXT divas that are women wrestle more than I want to see the same matches we've seen before. You know what I mean? I'd much rather seen. I would have much rather seen that Sasha Banks versus Paige, like or I guess we just had that last week, but just something different instead of the same old divas matches we see at Raw.
Right. Something fresh, something new. I get you. Justin?
Yeah, it was good for what it was. I mean, Paige, like you said, Paige is Paige. She gets her job done in the ring. Made Naomi tap out with the PTO. Thing I found interesting on the Stone Cold podcast, she was saying he was asking her one thing she would change, and she said she wants the women's title back. She kind of laughed it off, but she said she'd rather have the women's title than the Divas Championship right now, which I thought that was pretty cool. But
Right.
That was good.
He's showing them that the Divas title is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And that they need to change that shit.
We've been saying that for a long time. That you get rid of that stupid title, and it's finally good to hear some of the women in the WWE actually say that we want the women's championship. That we don't want the butterfly title.
Yeah.
Right. So let's get to the main event, which was all right, I guess. We had Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose take on the Wyatt family, Harper and Wyatt, and Sheamus. I mean, this was kind of just a good go-home show. Like, not a go-home show, but like send the fans home happy. I guess because of the whole Roddy Piper incident where she, whoa,
What
the hell? What the hell?
Freaking out.
I'm getting a call. That's interesting.
Maybe it's Texas Kid.
That was interesting as hell. Anyways.
He's probably calling and say, talk more about the news.
That's crazy, man. That's interesting. Yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought. Yeah, it was like, Roddy Piper passed away. They had a couple of tributes. Everybody on the show
which is
wore,
very cool. I enjoyed those tributes. They were
yeah,
cool.
everybody wore Piper shirts, which was pretty neat. Nice tribute to Piper. The 10 bell salute at the beginning. And you know what? Fuck you to all the fans that were talking during that 10 bell salute, because that is the most disrespectful shit ever. And especially to an icon like Roddy Piper, you're gonna talk and be on your phone and stuff like that. I mean, come on now, man. Show some fucking respect to the man that busted his ass for this business. And that's what pissed me off. But let's just touch on this main event. What did you guys think of it? I know it wasn't the best main event. Randy Orton gets the win over. I think he did pin Sheamus, right? Or was it
I believe so. I missed the
No, it was Reigns who got the pinfall.
right? Then he Superman punched
he
Sheamus.
speared Bray, I think.
Superman punched everyone.
But I know RKO did happen, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So go ahead, Justin. What did you think? What the
Son
fuck?
of a
Who is
bitch.
this calling me? Dude, I don't know you, man. Stop calling me Alex Reinstein. Sir, I don't even know how to say your name, man. Stop calling, please. All right. Anyways, go, Justin.
Yeah, for what it was, I mean, it was a good, solid 6-man tag. Like I said, I missed the last part of it because I got a phone call. But I mean, yeah, for the way it ended, it was good. Actually, it was okay from what I saw. Everybody had their own spots, so it was good for what it was.
Dave?
The match was good. It was kind of slow at the end. It was really kind of fast paced. The one thing about Roman Reigns, though, he probably throws one of the best punches in wrestling right now out of the WWE. His punches look really legit when he sticks up. So I like him. Phoenix the button on the throw a punch him out, but they were really good. The Rock always threw a good punch too, though. But it's like Nathan the Dean. The predictable winner. Of course, you gotta see Super Raymond Raymond Rollins get over and get the win. But other than that, good match. His matches have been better. His promo he did was kind of a little weak, but it was okay. I did enjoy the little tribute to Piper with Ambrose did. And people do compare Ambrose to Piper and Brian Pillman a lot. So
Yes. Yep.
And that's what you really get. And he did the whole They Live little thing where he kind of chew bubblegum and kick ass. So, good match. Good way to end the show. You had the good guys going over. And you didn't see any of the Wyatt family take a loss. Sheamus could afford to take a loss because he took it from Roman. It had nothing to do with the storyline. So it worked.
I agree. And not really sure what they're making up to be at SummerSlam. It looks like it's more and more looking like Sting's not going to be involved.
Yeah.
So.
It looks like it's going to be a tag match. Or maybe you make it a 6-man and add Orton Sheamus to the match again.
Yeah, maybe. So.
Maybe Sting's a special guest host like Miz was one year.
Oh, Lord.
I don't know.
Jesus Christ, dude. This dude keeps.
Can you ignore it?
I'm going to have to block him. I'm sorry, dude. He wanted to join the stream and talk when we're a 3-man booth where I told him that. And he keeps sending me calls, so I had to block him. I'm sorry, man. All right. Yeah, like we said, Raw wasn't the greatest. Kind of like I've never seen us fly through a review like this before on a Raw, and that shows you something. I'm not gonna say I missed Cena or lacked Cena or anything like that. I think it was more of a tribute to Piper, and it was just so. I guess kind of.
You could say Cena was missed in a way too because as much as we all might not always like him, but he does bring that extra energy always when it comes out. And it seems like Ron might have been lacking the energy he brings, and there wasn't a lot of energy tonight.
And it was expected, especially since the Roddy Piper passing away, and he did.
Yeah.
He was a tremendous, help and inspiration to a lot of the
Definitely.
wrestlers in the WWE. So I mean, a lot of them probably were still kind of recovering from it because it was kind of like a out of nowhere tragedy.
Yep.
And he dies of a heart attack, and it's just craziness. And rest in peace, Roddy Piper. But
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's just like, it was shocking when you hear about it, and it's like, you were telling me about it, and I was like, wow. And yeah, I mostly remember Piper, not so much in the WWE, but more when he came over to WCW. I remember him in that aspect when he was facing Hogan and when he was doing the whole president of WCW, which, I mean, yeah, and I remember the bagpipes, and it was just like, it was perfect because you hear almost like a funeral style, you hear a bagpipe play,
Mm-hmm.
right. And props to the Miz for giving a shout out to Piper and wearing a kilt, but that quickly ended after tonight when he re-pissed me off on Tough Enough. And let's get into Tough Enough, where
Well, before we do that, did y'all see what happened in the Raw?
I mean, was there anything really to mention about the podcast with Paige?
No.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It wasn't a great podcast. It was one of his better ones. Yeah, I agree.
It kind of seemed like all over the place. Like he'd be talking about one thing, and then he would talk about another thing, and then he would talk about.
And you could tell how nervous she was because she kept messing with her hair.
He got like caught up because I'm sure they're yelling at him in his ear about hurry up, we got hurry up.
Right. What was that, Justin?
It just seemed awkward.
Well, no, I was just saying you could tell how nervous she was because she kept messing with her hair and doing all this stuff, like moving her hands. You could tell she was real nervous doing it.
I think.
She even mentioned it on Twitter how she was trying not to think of her hair no more, but yeah, I mean, it was just. I enjoyed her story, though. It was a really good to hear her talk about her backstory, but it was just odd because she was only 23. Yeah, she's been in the wrestling for 10 years, but I mean, when you see a podcast like that on the network, I said it to you, I'd rather have it be like a big name. You're talking to somebody that we all love watching, someone who can like, hey, okay. Like his other podcasts have been with other great legends in wrestling.
Right.
So, I mean, that's what I would have preferred, but they had to do a last-minute reboot with Hogan being gone.
Right, and I think eventually we'll see that. We'll probably see Taker, or we'll see.
I think Taker and Stinger are supposed to be the next two.
And that's awesome. Can't wait to hear that. But let's touch on Tough Enough.
Well, did y'all see what happened after Raw went off the air? What they did?
No, I did not.
If y'all go check it out on Bleacher Report, apparently there was another a kid there, a cancer survivor. He had cancer for about 5 years. His favorite superstar was Stardust. They had Stephanie and Triple H in the ring, and they were talking about Tough Enough, how they were going to sign somebody. Well, they had a contract, and this kid signed a contract to be a superstar.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Stardust and him were in the ring, and Triple H was saying, "Are you ready, to be a superstar and this and that?" So, it was pretty cool what they did. Go back and watch it. I saw it on Bleacher Report.
Yeah, really cool what they did right there. That's awesome.
Yeah, speaking of Stardust, we can find out next week we'll have Steve Melby on guest host himself or Green Arrow or what, I don't know, but so that should be really interesting to look forward to.
Yeah, if anybody doesn't know that they've been going at each other on Twitter, not like in a hateful manner, but kind of like throwing shots at each other every now and then, and
one-upping each other. Yeah.
Friends. I mean, you really can keep with friends, but yeah, it's really cool to see something like that happen.
Right. So that's another thing to look forward to next week. Maybe we get a Taker appearance. Another, who knows.
Promo.
We'll see next week on Raw. But let's touch on Tough Enough before we end this video tonight. They had two challenges where they had to do teamwork challenges, which was they go into a house and say that was on fire, and they save an occupant. It was a dummy. And then they had what was the other team?
Body slamming.
Oh, body slamming. Of course, ZZ didn't do well. And Sarah Lee and Gigi also didn't really do very well. And I guess you could say the same thing for Chelsea and Amanda. They didn't do very well either. But let's just get into it. Well, where the Miz says, calls out Amanda, says that this has gone to your head. Now you're all cocky, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to be putting you in the bottom 3, which then made Paige change her decision to put her in the bottom 3, and she put in Chelsea, right? Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Daniel Bryan put in Gigi because she kind of threw Sarah under the bus, saying that she almost paralyzed her, and which it was ridiculous. Like, she was nowhere near dropping her on her head or.
You just landed sideways, basically.
Right. And Daniel Bryan made a good point on the Tough Talk or he may have said it on the show that she was trying to make Sarah Lee look bad. And she did the same thing with Chelsea with her ankle. Like, I'm afraid to be in the ring with her because she may hurt me.
Yep.
Stuff like that. And I even told Dave this at the beginning of the show that Paige loves Gigi. She's a fan of Gigi. And because everything was like they would say something bad about her, but she would come back and defend her very quickly. Which we did find out that she made her save. Okay, here we go. Final 3 was supposed to be Amanda, Polly, Sarah Lee, and I'm not sure who was going to be the chick. Maybe Chelsea. Miz, again, changes his mind. And he pretty much changes his mind because for the same reason why he was going to put her in there.
Mm-hmm.
Or her being confident and the way she looks. And it's just like, it blew my mind.
I think he's just playing it. Honestly, I think he's making everybody think that, I'm going to put her in and then changing the mind. It's like, what a shot.
It just blew my mind. So again, Amanda stays there again. No ZZ in the bottom 3.
But just surprising.
Right. So it's Chelsea, Sarah Lee, and Gigi. They asked the 2 if they want to make their save. And Paige makes her save, saves Gigi. So it comes down to Sarah Lee and Chelsea. And Sarah ends up winning by vote. If it was gonna be all 3 of them, again, the person that got saved would have been going home, which is crazy. Gigi.
People you do not want to get stuck in the bottom 3 with are Sarah Lee and Nancy.
Right.
If you get stuck with them, you're gonna lose. And the last 2 weeks was Daniel Bryan gonna say Daniel Bryan to me has been the best judge on the show because he has, it seems like everyone else towards biasism to other people he's consistent. And it seems like everyone's showing bias towards these other ones. Like Amanda's hot, Gigi, I don't know why, but I don't know. I don't get Gigi. I really don't. I mean, she should have been gone. Easy should have been gone last week, and it's like we lose another person who is actually passionate about wrestling. First Patrick, now Chelsea. She was the next person who loved wrestling. She trained with Lance Storm. I mean, another person. So now we're gonna get stuck with Amanda and Izzy possibly being the freaking winners of this.
I don't know. I hope not. Right. Like I said, they announced on next week's Tough Enough, John Cena will be on the show. In what capacity, I don't know. I'm guessing he's going to be there live, I'm assuming. So, I don't know. This week's show wasn't that bad. I mean, I was pissed that Amanda stayed because I don't think her ass deserves to be there.
Could have been gone last week.
And I'm just hoping one of these days that Paige jumps over that booth and attacks her because she would be doing me a favor with that because I don't like Amanda. She should not be on the show. I'd rather have ZZ on the show than Amanda because he seems a little bit more passionate. At least he's trying now. A little bit late in the show, but at least he's trying.
Amanda's kind of turning into Deanna a lot since she left. It's like we were just hating her, and she's not doing nothing in the ring.
Right.
I mean, she's like, I can learn how to wrestle, I can learn how to be better than her. When she's talking about Chelsea, and I was like, you can't though, because you can look at people who can wrestle. John Cena will never be as good as a wrestler as Ric Flair. But he's as good as what he does. He's great at what he does. But he will never look or wrestle to be better or like Ric Flair compared because they're 2 different types of people. That's what Amanda and Chelsea is to me, because you're just a pretty face who's trying to become a wrestler. You couldn't be better than someone who's been a wrestler already.
Right.
You're just coming to this to win another beauty contest.
So, I guess Miz sees a lot of himself and her, I guess. I mean,
Which is weird.
So, I don't know. Hopefully next week we'll get. I don't want to. I mean, it would be interesting to see this because I know for sure Amanda will go home. If it's Amanda, ZZ, and Sarah Lee, because
Which very well could be.
There's no way that Daniel Bryan's going to use his save on any of them. Maybe Sarah Lee, and then right then and there, I'm pretty sure ZZ will win. So I don't know. It's Tough Enough wasn't too bad today. Not too much to gripe about. But, Chelsea going home, I think she was my choice of winning was her. I thought she would win out of the women. But apparently she's not. It's looking like it's going to go down to Gigi and Sarah. So,
only 3 girls left. So.
Right. So it's 3 girls, three girls, 3 boys, right?
Yeah, 3 girls, 3 guys.
3 guys. So
3 girls, 4 guys. I think there's 3 guys.
It's 3 guys. So,
okay, so
right now, to me,
3 weeks left. So
to wrap this video up, so we don't go over, for the first time ever, I think we might not go over an hour. Wow, that's amazing. Josh right now looks
front
the
runner.
best.
Yeah.
And that challenge, he looked really good. Dave?
Yeah, I mean, Josh looked great. I thought Tanner looked good too. I mean, the little segment that he did was giving the whole game thing.
That was kind of.
I thought it was funny. It was hilarious. I love that. It was funny. I mean, he's showing a character, more of a character, more of his personality on this show, so it works. I think Josh looks like a superstar. Tanner doesn't look like a superstar, but he could be like, one of those guys who can be a really good worker for wrestling, or if you look at Josh, he could be a really dominant big man in the WWE.
Right. So it's going to be an interesting next couple of weeks. Like Dave said, there's only, 3 weeks left, so it's going to be interesting. And then I think, almost 2 more weeks after next week till SummerSlam. So I'm sure we'll get more matches announced. Right now, there's only 2 matches pretty much announced for the show, which is the title versus title, Cena versus Rollins, and then you got Taker versus Brock Lesnar, which is a pretty good and main event. So.
And they did. Ryback did say that he was ready for SummerSlam. So.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, he showed that knee injury, and or whatever he had, staph infection, and his leg is pretty bad. So I mean, I'd be.
I'm just saying, he said it on Twitter that he would be ready by almost 100% by SummerSlam. That's what he said on Twitter. So I don't know.
I mean, he could. I mean, he's a hoss. I mean, he could. You never know. Big guys seem to be able to heal quicker. Look at John Cena. So.
Yeah, John Cena's a different animal.
Right, John Cena is on a different planet. I don't know what.
Yeah, did you guys see that training video he put out days after he had a broken nose? He's already out working out. I'm like that.
Right.
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, he's a robot, man. He's crazy. But I think we're gonna end the show here, under an hour. So that's an achievement. But I'm pretty sure next week we'll probably go over that with the, I'm pretty sure Raw will be a little bit better than it was this week. Seeing what the passing of Roddy Piper, and I think it was more of a mellow show this week, more than a let's kick the ass of the ratings tonight. So nothing has been announced for next week other than Stephen Amell, like Dave said, will be there on the show to confront Stardust. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they do there. I wonder if he's going to come out as a Green Arrow or he's going to come out as himself. I guess we'll find out. You have to find out next week. Any last thoughts before we end it tonight? We'll start with Dave first.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Raw doing the little schedule about being promoting the network finally, instead of just the apron. I mean, they're actually showing what's on the network, so that's really cool. So I enjoyed that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
Next Monday night, Swerve. For the people who like Swerve, it'll be back on next Monday night after Raw. So I'm looking forward to that. I like Swerve.
So hopefully don't get canceled.
Yeah, Justin, anything else you want to add on to before we end the show?
No, I think we pretty much explained. I mean, what we thought about it. So
Yeah, so we apologize for the quick show tonight. Like I said, when Raw's not that great, there's not much to talk about. So there was not very much to talk about tonight on Raw specifically. We touched a little bit on Tough Enough as well. I'm sure next week we'll probably dive more into it, maybe do some prediction on what kind of matches we might see at SummerSlam, so on and so forth. But yeah, I think as all three of us would say, rest in peace, Roddy Piper. Thank you for all the memories. And it sucks to see you go, but you're in a better place. And
should have been champion.
Yes, he should have been at least WWE champion at least one time. Come on, Vince. I don't know what the fuck your problem was. But politics, that runs WWE. So we appreciate everybody watching. We'll be back next week, same time, same channel. And I think that's going to be it. That's going to end it. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And we'll be back next Tuesday at 9. Oh, I'm sorry, 8. Oh, God damn it. 9:15 Eastern. We appreciate everybody watching tonight, and we'll be back next week. Thanks, everybody.